Hello, everybody. Welcome, episode 3 of Oh, I Got News for You. The episode titled Mom's Spa-Ghetti, which we will get to later. So, before we begin, we're going to be playing Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, set on Ravnica. It's a game about everyday Ravnicans and not your standard magic heroes. And it is going to be set in the setting of the Ravnica News Network, a recently launched first ever television news network on the planet of Ravnica. Plane of Ravnica, I guess. And one small note, if at any point I make a ruling that doesn't vibe with the way that you remember the rules written in the book, congratulations, it's now a house rule. And if I rule the same thing different later, that's now the house rule. My number one thing here is to try and keep the story going rather than getting bogged down in rules. Okay, so I'm going to go around and introduce everybody's characters, starting to my right, I think, or left, depending on how you're looking at it, with Jordan.
Hello, I'm Jordan. I'm the other half of the general hosts here at 321 TV. I am playing Adelchi of the Orzhov Syndicate, human cleric, and where we're using those rules, the Documancer for this production crew of uh, the Ravnica News Network. So hello.
Aimee?
Rules? What rules? I'm Zimzix. I am a goblin rogue. I do a lot of photography, and I was in charge of the newspaper before this whole television station.
Don't forget to mention what guild you're part of.
Oh yes, I am those guys. I always forget the name.
House Dimir.
Yeah, Dimir. Thank you. I was looking.
All right, we go down to Poetics.
I play Ruric Wilton, who is a member of Selesnya Conclave, and his main drive is to make sure the party's having a good time and keeping on the straight and not quite narrow.
And it should also be noted that he has an intelligence score of 8.
He does have a penalty. That's correct. He's very wise, but has no idea what to do with that information.
And Jamie?
Hey, I play Augustus, and I am the Loxodon Sorcerer. House Izzet. Yeah, I just... I'm still ginned up from our wrestling conversation. I apologize. Oh, man. But I'm steamed up for tonight. Woo!
So everybody should have leveled up to level 4 after the last game. Jordan, do you want to tell us what you did with your level up?
Sure. I will absolutely love to tell you what I did with my level up. I took a feat, actually, where as soon as I remember, the skill expert, which allowed me to improve a couple of ability scores and enhance my enhance a couple of skills that I felt were important for me. Persuasion and investigation, and I gave myself a bit of a bump to my charisma to help back those up.
One thing I meant to mention to you is, do you have proficiency in Scribe's tool?
Do I have proficiency in Scribe's tools? That is an excellent question.
Because if you don't, go ahead and add it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no,
it just
I don't
makes
have
sense
any...
for someone whose life is paperwork. Be able to write. Aimee, what did you do with your level up?
I also took a feat, and now I'm a dual wielder.
So you no longer get a penalty for your offhand?
Yes.
Cool. Poetics, what did you do?
I bumped some stats, most notably not intelligence. And that was the whole of it. Yeah, nothing's too special.
Okay. And Jamie?
I bumped up a couple of stats and I added a spell or two, mostly for hilarity. I added grease.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just on the off chance that we have to chase somebody, I'm like,
And I mean, like, as an engineer, it makes sense to be able to grease something without an oil can, right? It's like
that is also true.
Don't get me wrong. There's also the opportunity that we are being chased.
That's also true as well.
Yeah. So, as with last time, I'm going to get one of the players to do the recap. I'm going to let Jamie sit this one out because he wasn't here.
Oh, damn it. I was going to ask him to do the recap.
That's awful. Why would you do that? You're setting me up, you jerk.
So, who wants to do the recap this week? All right, then I'll nominate someone. Jordan, you're doing the recap.
I'm back here doing behind the scenes stuff. All right, recap. What did we were to ostensibly go do a preview fluff piece of a new circus that the Cult of Rakdos was putting out. The Masaaki Imaginarium.
Mm-hmm.
And we went and met with a bunch of people and sort of explored it when we learned that I believe it was Diana, the human cannonball performer, was I'm sorry, Diana Milanesca, the human cannonball performer, was found murdered backstage. Dun dun dun.
What makes you think it was murder?
We investigated.
I would say that it was because I was there, but we weren't really there. And to add a little spiciness to it, she had some love letters from a member of the Selesnya Conclave named Marcus, and we went and met, delivered the news to Diana's husband, Giancarlo Milanesca, and I believe bodily harm was threatened upon me in the process of.
There was no direct threat.
Strongly intuited.
You perceived that there may have been bodily harm.
I perceived a threat of bodily harm, which is good enough for me.
And what else did you discover that is somewhat pivotal to the plot of today?
It even relates to the title of the session.
You want to fill in the blanks, Poetics?
Sure. Marcus is supposedly a member of the Selesnyan Conclave, and there are two Marcuses that Ruric knows about. One is a guard with about as much intelligence as a lamppost. He and Ruric get along, and the other one runs a spa and is a rather well-known member, which seems like it could be fitting the bill. So we're gonna go check out who Marcus is and what he's up to.
So we'll work you into this in a moment, Jamie. So the three of you are stood outside the range of this, or what you think is the range of this this underground Rakdos club that you were most recently seen fleeing at top speed. And you've had this conversation about a Marcus, right? And it has been pointed out that there are two people that could possibly have filled that role. The guard and the person that is in the spa. Notably, Poetics says that or should I say, Ruric says that he runs the spa. That may not necessarily be true. But as far as you know, he runs the spa. And Ruric, go ahead and give me a go ahead and give me a wisdom check.
That's 22.
You would know the spa,
Mm-hmm.
and you would know that it's not like public access.
And this spa is in the slight spillover from District 6, right?
It's in the it is in the District 6 Verdani, yes.
Okay.
So
Okay.
just for those of you that have missed a session or whatever, District 7 doesn't have its own Verdani, but the one in District 6 is large enough that it kind of like spills over the border. So they've got kind of like one huge Verdani between two districts, which is where this very famous spa is that attracts tourists from all over it attracts tourists from all over Ravnica. So
Intriguing.
So this spa won't let in just anybody. We might have to go incognito.
I am not wearing green, if that is what you mean.
Moss comes in brown.
it's not so much about again, that wisdom check would have told you
Right.
that it's not so much about sneaking in
Right.
as being granted access.
I mean, yeah. Why don't we just go through the our official channels?
I like the
We
sound
could do a pluff piece on the spa.
Yeah, we'll do that. A pluff piece.
Yeah. Definitely have to
Let me contact Chief and see if he's if he can pull some strings for us.
yeah, the mud baths particularly.
Yeah. Okay. So.
So what?
You look like you want to say something.
message as a spell, and that's a shame to me.
Yeah, so I guess I get a hold of our bureau chief and
How do
see
you
if,
intend to do that?
don't I have some kind of communication thing?
No,
No.
you are a rogue. You do not have access to spells.
Oh, I thought we had some kind of like a communication tube or something like that.
That's all.
You received the thought strand last,
Oh, the thought strands,
Right.
right? That's what it was.
but only spellcasters can conjure those.
Okay, so our good friend Adelchi here should be able to get a message to the
No,
headquarters.
because he is not House Dimir, therefore cannot conjure thought strands.
Oh, that's dumb.
It is a House Dimir spell.
Well, let's go back to the building and
Yes, that's a good novel idea.
fine,
that-
we'll do the footwork.
After all, we should do a preliminary report on the Rakdos circus.
Yeah.
Someone got murdered even before the performance.
Yeah,
Dun dun dun. Oh wait. Is
that'll
that
bring in the
appropriate?
crowds.
Is that an appropriate time for a
For a
dramatic?
dun dun dun.
Yeah.
Well, see, it's family friendly. All the bloodletting is done before the crowds show up.
Mm.
I'm going to give you a chance on this, Poetics. Roll me an intelligence check.
Oh God. All right, 14.
From what you know of the spa, because you've never been able to get in there, right?
Absolutely.
From what you know, the best way to gain access to the spa is to be granted it by a high-ranking member of your guild.
Okay. So the easiest way in is for an elder Selesnya to say we're cool. Now, there aren't any centaurs or dryads of note here in District 7. But if we make a name for ourselves in District 6 and get famous enough, we can get an audience with the right person who will grant us permission to relax in the spa.
Or
Sounds like something that would take a little time.
hear me out. We go back and we ask who the Conclave representative that signed off on our news network was, and try to go through them. I think that's going to be the ticket there.
That's a good idea.
A lot less work than seeking relocation to a new district within the city and rebuilding our reputations and names from the ground up. Yeah, I think,
have to agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll
I mean, if that's what you think.
Ruric, we'll call yours Plan.
F.
I was thinking more along the lines Beta 7. You know, somewhere.
Yeah. I like that.
You know, when all else fails, when we're really scraping the bottom of the barrel of plans, we'll circle back to the let's relocate to District 6 plan. But yeah, I think heading back to the broadcasting center or Discovery Center or RNN towers. I say Discovery Center like it still exists, but it doesn't. Now I have a sad.
Oh, it just is elsewhere.
So you're circling back around. Is that the plan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything you want to do on the way back?
I don't think so. I think haste on our part is paramount to go try to get. I like how we're saying this, like, you know, we're not like we're going to be the law on this one, but we're not. But
It's the story.
Yeah, we want to be on the front edge of this story here. So haste is in our favor, I think.
I'd love to see what our Loxodon is up to and try to pick him up.
Another reason to go back.
Provided
So,
there, yeah.
so you head back to RNN. Everyone roll me perception checks. Jamie, not you. Unfortunately, you're not there yet.
Right.
22.
14.
It's gonna be the only 20 I get this game.
21. My dice are hot, and it's gonna bite me later.
Yeah, unfortunately, I also rolled pretty well. So you make it back to RNN without any incident, really. What is it you plan to do once you're there?
I would head directly to talk to the chief.
So we're kind of splitting up. Is that the plan?
Depends on what you guys want to do. I know you want to find the Loxodon, but
I think
he could be summoned.
Step one is inform the editor-in-chief what we learned and our desire to get into this spa and whether or not we can get a letter of introduction to get us into this spa to talk to Marcus. And then step two is on our way to said spa, scoop up Agustus and, well, not scoop up Agustus, have Augustus scoop us up. Because I, for one,
I'm not lifting an elephant.
Yeah.
Maybe the three of us together.
You say this, and then I look and oh wait, hang on, I'm +1 strength. It's Constitution. That's not that great.
So, in your plan to contact the chief, do you have permission to access the top floor?
No.
Good question.
When summoned.
When summoned, we do.
Do you have access to the executive levels? Because I don't think you do.
No,
I mean, I would assume that's part of going there. Like, there'd be some kind of secretary or security or something that'd be like,
wait.
hey,
We
we've
got to
got
figure it
something.
out. Adelchi will go to the secretary's desk on the first floor,
Uh-huh.
submit the request to see an executive, take said authorization from the person on the first floor to the desk on the second floor.
Yep.
Get them to just work his way out floor by floor.
God, this is annoying.
While our cleric of order is doing that, I think I'm going to go ask some of the other Selesnyans what who should I talk to if I wanted to go see the big spa for a big story we're working on.
Okay. And so just so I get this right, Adelchi and Zimzix are trying to talk to the chief.
Slowly working our way up the tower.
Ruric is headed to talk to the other Selesnyans. Okay. Over to Augustus for a moment. You've been on assignment elsewhere, right?
Okay.
You've been you've been spending the last like 2 or 3 weeks since the initial mission. You've spent at Kapitsa Durak University kind of studying the technology that makes the broadcasting possible, right? Getting to learn its ins and outs and sort of just becoming more au fait with how things work.
Okay.
So, as you've spent your time there, that's why you've been learning your craft a bit better, which is why I'm okay with you leveling up at the same time as these 3 yobbos. So you're headed back to RNN right now. It's your first day back, and as you walk through like the big double doors at the front, there's the big secretary's desk, and stood at it are Zimzix and Adelchi. But they're sort of Adelchi is obviously filling out paperwork, and Zimzix is probably looking like they want to stab somebody.
There may even be knives in hand.
Oh, jeez. Well, what's up, guys? It's been a long time. What did I miss? Besides more paperwork being filled out.
Gathering news, watching a murder, investigating a murder,
Ooh,
just normal
murder.
stuff.
It sucks I wasn't there to record anything. Hey, that is what it is, though. So, what's the paperwork for? Like, what are y'all trying to do? Trying to get access to, I'm assuming. It's the only reason why paperwork would be filled out.
One must always have an appropriate paper trail, Augustus. I tell you this. I tell you all this. There must be an appropriate... But no, we are attempting to speak to the editor-in-chief so that we may follow up on a couple of leads to the story of the death of the human cannonball.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Humanoid cannonball, at the very least.
That's very rough. So, how are you going about trying to talk to the chief? Wait.
Paperwork.
Is there an easy? Okay, paperwork. That's not easy. There has to be an easier way. Like there has to be something that we can do to expedite this process instead of filling out paperwork and going from floor to floor to floor, because that's what I'm assuming is about to happen. I'd rather not waste all that time.
You can do something gloriously stupid that gets the chief to call us to his office. Just right.
And may get you fired in the process.
Pity the
But hey,
Paladin walked away.
You said gloriously stupid? Sounds about up my alley.
I mean, that's built for the Izzet League.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, I can run down to engineering and make a bomb. That would be always good. We call in a bomb threat. Think about it like this. We call in a bomb threat, and the chief has to come down, right?
Not necessarily.
I mean,
yes, a bomb would be clearly gloriously stupid enough for whatever would get you fired and get you called up to the chief's office.
Well, yeah,
I'd rather
true.
get there, and still have my job.
Yeah, you're right. That's a bad idea.
I mean,
I'll make sure to make that bomb and keep it in handy. I got a couple of friends that maybe can get me a bag of holding. So you never know when you need a bomb.
Adelchi is clearly only like half listening to this conversation.
Yep.
Yeah, no, bomb, great idea.
Yeah. Adelchi, your clothes are on fire. Cool, that's really great. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
So we need to talk to the chief, but we're going about it the long way. Can't we just brute force the elevator? Is that possible? I mean, I guess it would be possible for me. I mean, I don't know how comfortable y'all would be with it. Filling out paperwork and stuff.
Again, I haven't survived in this business this long by, forcing my way into the chief's office.
That is true.
Or dressing rooms.
Yeah, well. That's a little different. In the name of getting a story,
The name of stories, huh? Maybe we can find something else so crazy that the chief would have to listen to us. Maybe we can find something out on the street.
The issue isn't the chief won't listen to you. It's just you need permission to get up to his office.
Oh, okay. Huh. How many floors is it to the executive office? From where we're standing right now, since we're on the first floor.
Probably 40.
Never mind. I was going to try to... Jeez. So it's first floor, and then the 40th floor is before you get to the executive.
Yeah, and then there's an executive floor above that.
Okay. Oh, okay. So, all right.
I suppose we could go to the broadcast room and actually, film something at requesting to talk to him.
By the time they've had this conversation, Jordan, you finished filling out this form.
Yes.
But I mean, that only gets us to floor 2. Can't we just expedite it and just
No. This can get you to the top floor.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, oh my God, we'll literally be here for weeks. We're going from floor to floor to floor.
This is an Asterix. So you hand in the paperwork, and it's put in a little tube, and the pneumatic tube does its job and sucks the paperwork up. And you have to wait for a reply, basically. Meanwhile, Ruric, you head up to the Selesnyan area in an attempt to find someone who can tell you how to access the Shade Leaf Spa. And where are you starting that process?
So, I'm assuming that while Ruric is one of the obviously preeminent yoga and moss cultivating instructors here at RNN, because that's something RNN specializes in, that he is not the only one. And so honestly, I think the first place he would go would be a fellow instructor, a fellow leader of relaxation and meditation, basically.
Okay, so
I mean, he with that wisdom, he is aware of his shortcomings.
All right. So I'm gonna say that you are gonna try and talk to the head Selesnyan, right?
Yeah.
There seems to be a preeminent person of each clan here, right? So each guild. So there's a fairly old elf that spends most of his time in meditation. That you would probably be able to track down fairly easily. Called Arlach. Aralach. He's a very venerated member of the Conclave. And you would find him in the meditation chambers, sort of. You're not quite sure if he's meditating or napping.
You know, he knows what's best for him. I'm going to knock exceptionally quietly at the door, such that he can choose to respond or not at his whim.
He peels open one eye. Says, young Ruric, please come in.
Ruric will not quite scamper, but will make his way inside. There's an exciting news story going on, and I think I need your help.
What can an old man like me help you?
I'm trying to get a small group of non-conclave members into the Shade Leaf Spa in District 6.
And need my help. Why?
I don't know who to talk to.
Well, I would feel that would be one of your fellow instructors. You're familiar with Natalia, yes?
Yes, she and I... Yes.
You are aware that she is of the Shades Leaf clan. Silent Leaf clan.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Perhaps she would. Best point.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to interrupt and for your wisdom as always.
My pleasure. Just don't do anything stupid.
No. Gonna get squeaky clean. Thank you.
Okay, back to the lobby. About 2-3 minutes later, a tube returns, and you are granted access to the top floor. And I'm just going to assume you go up. You are greeted by Secretary Lim. She's like, the old man's waiting for you. Go on in.
Thank you.
And you wander into the office, and Editor-in-Chief Borge Trular is sitting behind his desk, looking out over the park below. Turns his chair as you walk in. I hear you have a urgent need to see me.
Yes, sir. It turns out the circus story we were following has become a little more in depth than we were thinking. Young Miss Diana, what's her name? Milanesca was unfortunately murdered while we were there, and it looks like she may have had a secret lover who is of the Selesnya and works at or is involved in some way I think Ruric said he was an owner, right? Something like that. Anyway, he's at this fancy spa that is very exclusive and hard to get into. So, in order to follow this lead, we need to find a way to get into the spa. So, we might need to pull a few strings.
Into the Selesnyan spa.
Yes.
Yeah, that one.
May I ask a very stupid question?
There is no such thing as stupid questions, sir. Especially coming from you, sir.
If it is a Selesnyan spa, why are you not speaking to the Selesnya?
That is what Ruric is off doing, but we thought it was very important for you to know that
You know,
there's
we
death and drama.
But you said that you were here string pulling.
yes, I mean it's better to go through official channels.
Official
Yeah,
channels that the Selesnya can help you with. That's why they're here.
Fair enough. Okay.
We have representatives from these guilds, so that if we need something from those guilds, we can go to them.
You make a very good point, sir. We are so sorry for wasting your time.
And bring me some pictures of Spider-Man.
Yes, Mr. Jameson, sir.
Now,
All right. Well, we'll.
as we sort of back out, does anyone know where we can find pictures of a humanoid spider?
The Underdark.
Could ask the Simic.
Yeah, the Cynic. Yeah.
Oh, they liked us last time we were there. Excellent.
They may have one ready.
Make note of this.
If
all
not,
right.
we can have him make one.
Let's go track down Ruric and see
All right.
how he's faring, trying to get us access to Marcus.
All right, back to the Selesnya area. So you are wandering around. I'm gonna guess, looking for Natalia.
Yeah.
Um,
As I recall, she and I are on roughly even footing when it comes to our duties. So
that is what you said when you made her up in the first episode. Yes.
So I imagine I would have at least a rudimentary understanding of her schedule.
Yeah, she's probably just finished class, to be honest.
Perfect.
So she's kind of winding down after leading a rigorous breathing class.
That's.
So she's kind of like toweling her forehead off and sort of washing her hands.
Natalia.
Oh, Ruric, hello.
I'm so glad to run into you. How was class?
Oh, it was exhausting.
I bet, but hopefully very fulfilling.
Oh, you have no idea. My soul is so cleansed.
Oh, that is fantastic. Speaking of cleansing.
Not another word. If we're going to have a conversation, it's lunchtime.
Yes.
Come, and she sort of like links her arm through yours. And she's like, come on, you can buy me lunch.
Absolutely. And we will go down to the Arnon cafeteria.
The staff cafeteria where lunch is provided anyway.
Well, I mean, for discerning diets, I'm sure there is some options.
No. There's the cafeteria. You have to pay for your food.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's not always open.
Mm-hmm.
It just lunchtimes, and that's kind of it.
Yeah. No, we will very happily go to the cafeteria. He has just been reminded how hungry he is after spending all morning viewing a crime scene.
Mm-hmm. So you make your way to the cafeteria.
Yes.
Take the elevator down because the cafeteria is below ground. It's on the same level as the engineering and one of the studios. So you make your way in and start moving through the line, picking out food.
So, have you ever been to the Shadeleaf Spa?
Yes.
So, speaking of cleansing, inside and out, there's a story brewing, and someone very integral to the story is at the Shadeleaf Spa. I'm wondering how some of us could get our way over there.
By us, you mean me and you?
That would be fantastic. But I've been tasked for this one to go with Adelchi, the Orzhov. We have Zimzix, the Dimir, and I imagine Agustus, the Izzet, will be coming with.
You want to take Adechi?
No, I don't. But he
rather
needs
than
to come.
me.
No. I don't want, but he has to come. This is an obligation, not a want to. And Ruric will honestly look crestfallen at this. He would much rather go to the spa to enjoy himself and relax and embrace the peace of the universe rather than doing this with...
Have you ever been to the spa, Ruric?
I've seen it from the outside.
Okay. I mean, I could pull some strings.
Well, I wouldn't ever want you to go out of your way, but it would be a big help.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be an issue. I talk to Dad all the time.
You know, she said,
"Is your dad Marcus?"
Oh, who's Marcus?
Marcus is a man.
He's a
possibly
dragon man.
Possibly involved in a murder.
Think there's been a murder at the spa?
No, there's been a murder, an unscheduled one, at a Rakdos circus, a family-friendly circus. And Marcus might have been the catalyst. Jealousy and all that. Yeah.
I don't understand.
They explained it to me really quickly, so I don't really understand either. But what I get is that the person who was killed and Marcus were really great friends and like to hang out at the zoo frequently. The person's husband did not appreciate the fact that she liked to hang out at the zoo so much. So
she got killed for hanging out at the zoo?
Politely, yes. Possibly. We've spoken to the husband, and now we want to speak to her zoo friend.
Well, then why don't you go to the zoo?
Because he's at the spa.
But you said she went to the zoo.
She has been to the zoo with this gentleman multiple times.
Just so we're on the same wavelength here, going to the zoo isn't a euphemism, right?
Well, yes and no. I mean, she did literally go to the zoo, but then she went to the zoo, by all appearances. Before or after going to the zoo, I don't know, but
Ruric.
There was zoo involved.
Ruric. Stop. So there's this Marcus guy.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently works at the spa.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But went to the zoo with a Rakdos.
Yes.
How do you know he works at the spa?
Well, I mean, I only know of 2 Marcuses in the area, and the other one's a guard at a gate. And I figured, no one's going to take that guy to the zoo. And the other one I heard of was working at
Why
the spa.
can't guards go to the zoo?
Well, I mean, the zoo is a lot of standing around and not doing anything but watching.
So is guarding.
Yeah, and that's what the guard does all day. So why would he want to go to the zoo?
Then he's really good at it.
Yeah, but that doesn't make sense. Like, if he's paid to do the thing all day, why would he want to go do that some more in his free time?
Are you saying you don't meditate in your free time?
I meditate. I'm almost meditating now. Absolutely. But
so
I'm not
you get paid to do
meditate.
meditation?
No, I'm paid to guide others into meditation.
By meditating?
Well, by helping them release everything inside and walking them through the process. And
by
release
like everything
that's
inside.
Exhausting.
By release everything inside, do you mean going to the zoo? Or
no, letting go of all that bureaucracy. I'm still working on Adelchi. I really am. But he just can't.
Which is why you want to take him to the spa.
I mean, if anyone's able to loosen that guy up, it'll be the spa. And remember, I don't want to take him to the spa. But I need to.
So then why are you taking him to the spa?
Because I need to. Because Marcus, who's at the spa, needs to know that his zoo friend A is dead, B got murdered, and C, he might be next.
So where does Adelchi come into this?
He was the one who made sure we had access to the Rakdos circus and made sure that we weren't arrested for the murder that took place not where we were.
Hang on,
but they wanted to pin it on us.
Wait, you were nearly arrested?
Yes, we were talking with some guards because we needed to go backstage to talk to the Star. The Star got murdered, and then they accused us of being assassins or something because they wanted someone to blame for the murder, so case closed. But using his...
Are you absolutely sure no one in your group did anything to provoke them?
Well, Agustus wasn't there, so, I mean, maybe he did.
Throw Augustus under the bus. See how that is.
Right under the bus.
Boom, boom, boom. What was that? Don't worry about it.
It would have wrecked the bus.
That's just rather than the elephant in the room, it's the elephant under the bus. So you're asking me to allow 3 people who are accused of murder.
Oh, we've been cleared. By virtue of us not having been there.
Okay. Next time, lead with that.
Okay. We didn't commit murder.
Okay.
And we're no longer accused of murder.
But you are suspects.
Well, if we're not accused, I can't imagine we're suspect.
You know, that's not how investigations work, right?
No.
I'm not too hip to the whole investigation police procedure thing.
So why are you investigating a murder?
Because that's the news story we were told to cover.
Fine.
I'm not. I'd rather be teaching classes.
Yeah, you. I'll pull a string or two.
Thank you.
And get you in there, and you can go and enjoy the spa with your new friends, not me.
No.
I would much rather be having lunch with you or going to the spa with you or leading guided meditation or cultivating our moss harvest with you than running around being accused of murder. That's not a good time.
You said you weren't accused of murder.
No, we were, but then they changed their mind when we showed that we weren't there. Their investigation skills aren't even up to mine. I mean, if they're flip-flopping that easy.
You think their investigation skills aren't very good when they make a decision based on evidence?
No, obviously they didn't, because we weren't there. In fact, we were talking to the guy who accused us of murder when the murder happened.
Except you weren't.
No, we were totally talking to the guy.
No, you weren't.
We were talking to someone else at the time.
Oh,
They all look the same.
roll me
They're all covered in blood.
a deception check on that one.
So I just want to point out, I have a +3
Okay.
on charisma. I got a 4.
Okay. I rolled a natural 18 on my insight. Ruric, I don't think you're telling me the whole truth.
So,
at this point, you three would have gone to the Selesnyan, figured out that they weren't there, and found out that people saw them heading towards the cafeteria. So I'm going to have you three show up at this point.
and find me floundering,
Yes.
talking to my co-instructor for the
she's
various
kind of like
relaxation class.
she's kind of like pointing at him with a fish stick in one hand, like.
Ruric, is everything all right?
My tongue got really big. I think I'm trying to avoid swallowing it. Can one of you guys take over?
I don't think we've met before. Hi, I'm Zimzix.
Natalia, Silentleaf, pleasure to meet you.
And what's our friend here been telling you?
That you've been accused of murder?
Yeah. We went to do a piece on the
Or at least you
Rakdos.
three have.
I say we. Who's we? I was studying. I don't know what y'all were doing. Y'all got accused of murder. Not me.
It's okay, Augustus. I can explain this. We went to go do a piece on the Rakdos circus. That's the new show that's opening up. And while we were there talking with, I think we were talking with the acrobats at the time, we heard a scream backstage. We went to try and, find out what it is, because any information we can get is newsworthy. While we were trying to get back there was some. They didn't really want us back there. I kind of got in the way, but they realized
time out.
that
Getting in the way. What does that mean?
I just never mind. Don't worry about it.
Well, if you want my help, you'll mind.
Oh, okay. Well, when the guards went in to investigate, I snuck backstage. I kind of got into next door dressing room to the room where the murder happened, and there were some people there, and it just wasn't pretty. But
So what you thought would be the smart thing to do was creep up on a crime scene.
To listen to what they were saying. Yeah, I mean, we're just trying to find out information.
And she looks back at Ruric at this point. She goes, "Nobody did anything to provoke them, huh?"
He wouldn't.
I mean, I don't know what she did.
Yeah, he wasn't back there. He wouldn't have known. But anyway, they came to realize that we were out front talking to the acrobats at the time that things happened. So it was just a matter of misunderstanding, and they allowed us to take a look around and find out a little bit more, which is where we came across this Marcus fellow. I don't know if he's told you about him, but apparently he's a Selesny who was involved with Miss Milaneska, and we're trying to follow up on this lead.
Yes, he told me they went to the zoo.
Seems that way, yeah.
But I'm yet to discover whether that means he actually went to the zoo or whether they were having sex.
Do you still have that picture, Adelchi?
While Zimzix is sort of stumbling over all of this, I have cast guidance on myself. In just preparation for this, I am deeply sorry for any and all time wasted by the stumbling words of my co-workers here. I pulled the picture out of my Documenter's hip pouch because I don't quite have a Documency satchel yet, and show it would appear that Master Marcus and Miss Milaneska did indeed literally visit a Selesnya zoo together, though some private missives of Miss Milaneska between Miss Milaneska and Marcus would intimate that they were also figuratively went to said zoo, as you so cleverly put it. However, all we are seeking is just a chance to get into said spa, and hoping that you may know a way for us to be able to go in, so we may look around and hopefully speak to this Marcus fellow.
All right, go ahead and roll me a persuasion check at disadvantage.
Ah, shit. Thanks, guys.
Double 20s, double 20s.
Oh, no.
1.
9 total.
9.
Which, yes, means I did roll a 1.
She looks at you for a moment, and she's like, Adelchi, where did you get that photo?
Miss Milaneska's dressing room.
You removed evidence from a crime scene.
Yes.
She looks at Ruric and she's like,
This is why I'd much rather go with you, but I can't. That's not on me.
He was climbing up on the roof at the time.
I was
Listen.
getting a bird's eye view.
this is going to take some time. I need to contact my dad and convince him that 3 criminals and a Loxodon from the Izzet are worth letting into his spa.
Her dad is not Marcus. Just making that clear.
Do you happen to recognize the guy in the picture?
No, I don't visit the spa that often. I haven't gone home in years at this point.
Well, we appreciate any and all.
Stop
of your-
talking. And you better, for your own ass, go talk to the Boros and tell them you have that picture. Because if they find out you removed evidence from a crime scene, it's your ass. I'll let you know somehow when I've contacted my father.
Are we still going to have lunch?
I think it's best you leave.
Oh,
Sorry, Ruric, no trip to the zoo for you today.
I don't want to go to the zoo. Thank you, Natalia.
Yeah, thanks.
And Ruric will mope away.
Hey, you guys RP amongst yourself for a minute. I'll be right back.
Before we RP amongst ourselves,
bro,
just wanna
going
point
to
out
the
the
zoo is
fact-
my favorite euphemism now. I'm gonna use that all the time.
instead of
All
going
the
out,
time.
We're going to the zoo.
instead of going out to
Zoo.
coffee, I just want to point out that if I didn't have to roll at disadvantage, I had a 20.
Oh,
Nice.
Ah,
Nice.
It was a 20 a 1, and my D4 came up a 3.
Nice.
And I already have a +5 in persuasion. Uh,
Maybe we shouldn't be taking any more evidence. I didn't even really think about that.
Yeah, that was definitely-
maybe.
Adelchi's
Oof.
gonna go jump off at the top of the Arnon Tower. I'll be back with a Rakdos bard. Bring him to the party.
We'll truly be the lawless group at that point.
Oh god.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, Rurik's mainly just moping that that now Natalia has a lower opinion of him.
What did you tell her, Ruric?
I told her we were investigating a murder, and that she wanted to know more, and that we were accused of the murder, but then we were cleared, and that we needed to meet a Marcus at the spa, which is very it's an elite private thing for some members of the Selesnyan Conclave, and we're not of that group. So for her to pull some strings, she wanted to know more information. So I told her, and it made us look bad because everything we did makes us look bad.
So
I
you left the rest of
100%
those
agree.
letters. You left the rest of those letters back in her dressing room, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait,
So at least
there was more evidence that y'all could have taken. Jeez, I'm happy I took some time to study these new cameras and stuff, or whatever the hell they're called. You know what? Me blowing up the building would have been better. I just
No, I mean we left them. There's plenty of evidence there to point linking Miss Melaneska to Marcus.
I guess.
But the thing is, is he a suspect or is he in danger? That's what we don't really know.
I think the latter, but he should be informed anyway.
Wait, wouldn't y'all?
Syntax.
Couldn't we just wait? Why am I saying we? Y'all. Can't y'all just talk to the Boros and at least let them know that? I mean, I'm pretty sure the Rakdos kind of handled their own thing together, but the Boros are the police, so why not go to the police?
The police that accused us of doing it, I don't think would appreciate our help.
The police that accused us of doing it right out the jump because we were the only non-Rakdos, non-Boros people in the vicinity.
That's what I tried to bring up, but Natalia wondered if we were doing anything shady.
Well, to be fair, we were.
We were trying to do our job, which I mean.
Well, I tried to say that, and she sort of got mad at me, and that's when you came up.
Well, anyway, I mean, the whole point of this is to get a story. So,
And it not to be the story.
right.
Fair.
That's surprisingly wise of you.
I don't know a lot, but what I know, I know.
All right. So, next step.
You've
guess we
got
have to
some
wait.
time before you are going to get any word back from Natalia.
Yeah.
What are you going to spend your time doing?
I guess she did have a point. We should probably contact the Boros and tell them what we know.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Let's go. Let's go do that.
I mean,
guess-
we're not going back to the circus, are we?
Nah, we.
I mean,
They had their personal security there, but I would imagine there's some kind of headquarters.
but I mean, shouldn't we have a plan? Are we just going to walk in there and say, "Oh, hey, here's some evidence I happen to find blowing on the wind. Oops, sorry."
Right, so you were allowed access to the crime scene.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember how you got that?
Yeah, there was some messaging
We have a letter, don't we? I think we have a letter.
We had the Boros here on the station. Master Sergeant Boren got us clearance, so we can go talk to him. Her, sorry. That guy, that person. So yeah, that'd probably be the best place to go.
All right, let's go talk to the Master Sergeant.
Okay.
All right, so you go up a few floors to the Boros floor, and the elevator comes out into a large, what is basically a training floor, right? There's like mats on the floor. There's training dummies around. There's like racks of wooden weapons and shields and things. And there are a few corridors off of that large practice space. Trying to think, would any of you have had reason to come here before?
Not Ruric.
Maybe Ruric would have led a meditation.
Yeah, an anger management deep
Class.
breathing exercise, but I don't think I would have come up here for security needs.
Yeah.
I think Adelchi may have had reason to come up here at some point, get something co-signed, or to like sign off on a requisitions form or something like that, right?
Yeah, sounds about right.
So you know that the easternmost corridor leads towards like the changing rooms and things like that, and the westernmost corridor would lead you towards the offices.
Okay. Which would be the one that I would need for words? I have words for the Master Sergeant. Would I know which one?
I mean, the offices make sense. Unless she's out here on the floor.
She's not on the floor at the moment. The practice floor is kind of empty right now.
Okay,
It is,
so-
after all, lunchtime.
Oh, lunchtime. Might have been in the cafeteria.
You would have spotted her.
Mm.
She's a very large Minotaur.
Okay, so let's head over to the offices then. And we will.
As you're walking down the office corridor, you're passed by like say a junior lieutenant or something. Or like let's just say a regular officer, right? And they are they look at you and they're like, "Can we help you?"
Is the Master Sergeant in?
She should be in her office. Well, why would you need to see her?
I would like to talk to her a little bit about some clearance that she provided us earlier.
Oh, follow me.
Thanks.
It's like, Sarge? You hear a voice and it's like, yes. We've got an Orzhov, and Izzet, Dimir, and a Selesnyan here to see you. Like, this isn't the start of a joke, is it? It's like, no, they're really here, Sarge. Fine, send them in. He sort of waves towards the door.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Master Sergeant. First of all, I want to thank you for getting us clearance at the Rakdos circus.
Oh, that was you, right?
Yeah, that was us. We were able to take a look around, and we found a few things that we wanted to bring to you, the Boros's attention, as it would be pertinent. So we thought you would probably be the best person to speak with. Okay.
She's just waiting for you to keep talking.
Okay. First of all, we are not members of your illustrious profession, so sometimes mistakes are made. And we have a small piece of evidence that came into our possession from this investigation that we want to return to you. Nudge, nudge.
Pull out the picture and hand it over.
This is a picture of Miss Milanesca with a fellow named Marcus at the zoo. There were several letters which are still which were left at the crime scene between Miss Milanesca and Marcus, implicating some kind of relationship to them. So I'm sure your people probably found those as well because they were right out in the open.
And you've actively identified this as Marcus.
There's a note on the back.
There isn't.
I thought there was.
Nope.
Oh.
How did we?
I thought there was a note on the back of that.
I believe one of the letters mentioned having a good time at the zoo or something like that. I could be wrong.
Oh, that might have been okay. Right. So the letters talked about them enjoying time at the zoo, and this picture is obviously at the zoo, and that's not her husband. We met him.
But this isn't definitely Marcus. This could be another Selesnyan.
It could be.
Okay.
I mean,
He scribbles down a note.
Yeah. So yeah, we wanted to return that into the rightful hands and let you know that that's what we found.
She nods and she's like, so what you're telling me is I granted you access to a crime scene, and I'm going to go ahead and assume, for everybody's sake, this photo isn't from that crime scene. Because if it was from the crime scene, and you'd removed it from the crime scene, I'm going to have to arrest you all.
No, this is absolutely not from the crime scene.
So where did you find it?
Well, you went to visit Giancarlo Milanesca later, right after, and it was found near his premises.
Roll me a deception check.
Persuasion.
She rolled. Yeah.
No.
Actually, no. It would be deception.
Oh, okay.
Because you're.
Yeah, you're straight lying.
Luckily, she rolled pretty low on her insight.
Yeah, not low enough, surely. 6. I told you that was the only 20 I was ever going to get.
She just kind of looks at you. She's got this look in her eyes. Like she's not angry, just disappointed.
Oh, no.
I can handle that.
I'll ask you again. Where did you find the picture?
Roll first.
No, give me a second. No, let me form the words. So I'm trying to think about what tale Adelchi would try to spin for this one.
You don't have a whole lot of thinking time.
Miss Milaneska, when she was giving us a tour of her, a tour of her dressing room and backstage, we were talking to her about her act, uh, showed us the picture, and I just happened to keep holding on to it when we were escorted out of the back just before her death.
Roll it.
24.
This is the one time he got a good roll.
I'm not going to show you the dice because that would be really bad for you all. And she's just like, that's great. You can tell she absolutely doesn't buy the story. But she's kind of letting it roll. Anything
All right.
else?
Do you have anything that you think you? I mean, if you have any more questions, or
I was wondering if we are awaiting some other contact to go follow up our part in the Selesnya Conclave. I was wondering if there was anything you would be open and willing to share with us. Your people have found.
How just humor me here. How quickly do you think our investigators can act?
Well, considering the people that were there were very quick, just go ahead and assume that a Selesnya and Orzhov and that House Dimir were the immediate culprits.
Yes, because it's absolutely crazy to assume that a House Dimir agent is an assassin.
Fair. They were very quick to assume that a member of the Syndicate and a member of the Conclave
that are hanging out with a member of the Dimir.
I would like to point out that we were all very well known that we were there as members of the press.
Yeah, because spies and assassins never use cover stories.
It was more trying to just ask, you know what, Master Sergeant? We have wasted enough of your time. We will go.
The point being, Orzhov.
How? So, just out of quick curiosity, this was like in the morning. How long has it actually?
It's been like an hour since you left.
It's lunchtime.
Yeah. Like you got there at like 9. You were interviewing from like 9 to 10:30. The murder happened at 10:30. You spent like half an hour or so investigating. You then went off and saw Giancarlo and then came straight back here.
All right.
Our actual investigators hadn't even reached the scene when you had left. Guards, security men, they aren't investigators. They're not police people. They're barely short of thugs.
That's true. That is very true.
They're one step above the guildless. So no, our investigators haven't finished their investigation yet. And even if they had, word wouldn't have reached me yet. It would have to go through the precinct first. And I'll receive information of that when I return to the precinct this afternoon. And if there's anything relevant, I will be sure to pass it on.
Very good.
Thank
the
you.
assassin was on the roof.
Oh, yeah, there's that.
again.
But the evidence is there for them to take a look at.
I'm just trying to help.
I think we've tried helping enough today. Let us go wait to see what news Natalia brings.
Thank you very much for your time.
And as you're leaving, she's like, Orzhov,
Ma'am?
hold on a second. And when the other three leave, she's like, close the door.
Why?
If you or any of your motley crew remove evidence from a crime scene again, I will personally throw you in jail and eat the key.
Understood, ma'am. And I will provide.
And I would have expected a member of the Orzhov Syndicate to know better.
Understood. And if it does indeed happen again, I will provide the sauce and sides.
Now get.
Out.
Very disappointed in you. So, you've just had a bit of a bollocking at lunchtime.
Not every day goes your way.
And I think at that point, we're going to take our break for today. So, thank you for watching the first half of episode 3 of Have I Got News For You, titled Mum's Spa-Ghetti. Hope the title makes a bit more sense now. So, we will be back momentarily. Please stay with us. And we'll see you on the other side of this break. Peace.